Welcome to the Handyman Pros Radio Show, home improvement and maintenance tips from the pros. Thanks for listening to our action tip edition of the Handyman Pros Radio Show, where our goal is to help save you time, money, and aggravation. I'm here with John, my ever-cheerful co-host and old buddy. John, what's the action tip for this week?
Yeah, the action tip for this week, and I thought our listeners might want to consider these kind of things just while it's on the top of our mind, is that, we had some pretty big storms that rolled through the southeast here through Atlanta, and I think they actually came all the way from, like around Oklahoma or so, some such state over there that is at that far out. So we knew that they were coming. They were bringing a lot of havoc with it. And when I saw that, I thought, to myself, since we've got so many trees here in my yard and around here, is that I'm going to go see if my chainsaw still works. Those 2-cycle engines being what they are. And so I got that thing out. I got that started, because if a tree goes across your driveway, which I've had before,
right,
and you don't have a way of moving that tree, you're cutting it up, and you have an emergency that you need to get your car out, and you're trapped, it is a scary thing, and it's happened to us before. So, call it paranoia or what have you. But, those kind of things. I also, got to thinking, hey, get the candles, get prepared for electricity going out, as well as I've got one of those little flashlights that you and I both have for our handyman business, and you put a 4 amp hour battery on there, and the thing lasts for like 32 hours. So I'm thinking to myself, well, no, I'm covered till daylight, at least, a whole nighttime.
Right.
So that was kind of like I said, call it paranoid, what have you, but it's being prepared and kind of battening down the hatches. I mean, it's not like, of course, my brother-in-law lives down in South Florida. Now it's a whole different thing, but our storms here come up, and
they're very fast, and they're very intense,
very vicious.
And they knock trees down, and they'll take our power was out for 5 hours, and no big deal. We knew it. We didn't really worry about it, but still, we were prepared. We had checked the batteries beforehand in our flashlights, made sure that same thing. I made sure that the saws were up and running. I just made sure I had batteries charged up so I could run my Sawzall. And I do have a chainsaw. I just didn't bother with it. I don't have trees ready to go across the driveway. But our action tip of the week really is just be prepared for storms. Folks, we really know that storms are coming. Both John and I, we live here in the southeast, and we get these wind squalls. They do sometimes come with tornadoes. But if you live in other parts of the country, we both lived up in the north, right? And what happens up there? Well, you get snowstorms or ice storms that you can have long periods of time where you're without power and things like that. And if you live in those areas, and if you live in your area, whatever area you live in, you know what kind of natural disasters there are, and just be prepared. just think it through. Nobody gets surprised anymore. I mean, occasionally, but pretty much there's going to be a weather system coming. So be prepared. That's the actionable tip for this week. Anything to add, John?
Nope, that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've enjoyed this podcast and have derived some value from it, here's 4 things you can do. 1, tell your friends about this podcast. 2, hit subscribe on your podcast player. While you're there, leave us a review. 3, subscribe to our newsletter by going to handymanprosradioshow.com and click on the subscribe button. We'll inform you of upcoming events, shows, and give you actionable tips for maintaining your home and property. And 4, send us an email with your questions to questions@handymanprosradioshow.com. That's handymanprosradioshow.com. That's our show for this week. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week on the Handyman Pros Radio Show.